Welcome back to the Who's at the Gates podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. And today is Wednesday, recording this at nighttime as usual, having a lovely time with the AC blasting that I just turned on because I was like, okay, it's starting to get a little bit warm in here. So I have my water, I have my AC, and of course, I have the woman who's currently in litigation with the writers of the 80s hit by Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It? Because she said not only was she the inspiration for a song that came out in the 80s, but she was born in the 90s. She's also the co-writer of the song and in court fighting litigation in California right now with that to get her share of the song that she inspired for millions everywhere. Because when you talk to her, she will tell you what's love got to do with it, just like she's been saying to Jessica for a long, long time. The one and only Diana.
I can't with you. The worst part is I'm just like, finally, it's my time. Like, thank God. The episode I've been wanting, or the scene I've been wanting, is finally here.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is so. As soon as some of those scenes came up, I was like, I said, this is right up Diana's alley. I was like, she been telling this girl, she been telling her, like, girl, what's love got to do with it? Like, live your life. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the scene right now with Samantha and Jessica. So let's hit it.
Wish I could be there front row and center to watch Chelsea Cat make it their first international debut.
You can still go, Jessica. In fact, all of you fans out there can attend.
How? Did you just score big?
My big score is working with the Chelsea Cat brand. And now our whole Chelsea Cat fam gets to experience the event because it will be live streamed at #Tokyo Fashion Collective. See there, fam? And it's posted.
You rock as a team brand ambassador.
Thank you for being my guest. Your Japanese Rex were great content.
And I love doing it.
Then why do you look like I'm making you take another cotillion class?
Just reminding me that there's so much more world out there.
And
okay, don't get me wrong. I love being in this summer love bubble with your brother, but
bubbles burst.
I feel like I've been ghosting my own needs because I've been focusing so hard on Tyrell. Like last week when I went to visit UCLA and met my soon-to-be roomie, just made me realize how small I've made my universe. It feels like I'm losing me.
Can we table the discussion about my surgical scars?
Diana, I know you just itching to.
It's like one of the first times I smiled this week, when I saw this scene. I was like, oh, someone with some sense. Thank you. The show's back on the right track. I could not be happier that it's coming to this realization. And I really hope that the show doesn't screw me over and find a way for true love or whatever to come together at age 17 and a half. But listen, this isn't, like, I really hope. I like this actress. I think she's great. I think her character is great. I hope maybe, she's on the West Coast and she comes back in a couple years and maybe they rekindle something then. But right now, yes, this is the thing. You're going to get judged at any age, right? It doesn't matter. People are always going to say something about you. However, when you're young, it just feels like people give you a little bit more leeway. It's just like, oh, they're just young, or they don't know what they're doing. So, while you're young, you need to take advantage of things and go be a hoe. Otherwise, you're going to be Nicole being like, oh my God. I mean, people keep on talking about how I have two men. You're going to be talking about that to your mother, being like, where did I go wrong in life? And that's not to say that Nicole can't do that. She can. I'm just saying, you're young. Do not get attached to this 18-year-old boy who can't like regulate. Go, be free, grow, learn. Like, point still stands that if this was my niece and she was like, I don't know, I have my high school boyfriend, like, do I care? But like, what should I do? I'd be like, pack up your shit. We're going, and you do not look back. Like, I'm taking you on this plane and dropping you off. Don't give me that BS of, well, I don't, what do I do about my high school boyfriend? I don't care. You have so much ahead of you, and it's not with that boy right now in your life. Go grow on your own. Go be your own person. Don't, oh my God. I'm so glad that she's doing this.
Yeah, okay. This is the thing.
What do you mean? There's only one opinion, and it's mine, because I can't. How are you going to justify some teenagers that have great opportunities to be together because only one wants it?
Okay, I'm not necessarily knocking her decision. So let's be clear on that. I'm not knocking her decision. What I'm saying is, and I have to remember, I'm compassion when I speak truth. I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
I believe that it is totally fine to do what she's doing. By all means, the world is out there, and you are welcome to explore it because you have free will. But there are two sayings I once heard that have been used throughout many years. And I heard these two sayings at a Whitney Houston concert.
Oh.
She said, smell the perfume, don't drink it. And then also she said, pretty is as pretty does, but sometimes pretty can be pretty ugly. When you make the decision to go off and wonder and explore, you have to own that. Where if things don't turn out quite the way you expected, you have to own the results of that. Same thing if you decide to stay and pursue a relationship, because again, there are some people who do pursue relationships at a young age, not so much so in 2026, but there are some cases of that. And I'm not opposed to it because I'm a child of one of those relationships. And it's very possible for things to work out. Now, could it be a situation where I don't know if you've heard that Reba McEntire song, Is There Life Out There? And it's basically about someone who had been married since she was 20. And then all this time passes, she's raised kids and so on and so forth. And then she looks at her life and she's like, wait a minute, I've spent all my time taking care of my family, so on and so forth. I haven't really seen anything. And then you hit that point in life. Some people hit that point. Other people are totally fine with that type of situation and just living out their life, living for their family and having done it at a young age. Again, whatever decision she makes, whatever decision Tyrell makes, whether it's with Jessica or someone else, they need to own it. And that's anybody in life. And that's my beef with Nicole right now, which we'll go into later. People need to own the decision. So if she decides to explore and she ends up 40 or 50 and single because she kept out exploring and this and that, and then it never worked, and then she had someone that it might have worked with, even though we would never know. It's kind of like, okay, girl, well, you were exploring and now you're 40 or 50 and single. Own it. Don't have any regret, which some people have. Some people are like, I wish I would have settled down younger. I wish I would have gave that guy a chance instead of opting to see if the grass is greener on the other side. Again, nothing wrong with that, but I need for people to own it. And that's what I'm curious about, which I don't know if the show will be on 20 years from now. I hope so. But whatever she's doing, she needs to own it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I think that's fair. Everyone do what you feel compelled to do. What is your heart telling you to do? She always had the spirit of, I want to see more. So I don't think she's going to regret that. The whole thing about like, well, I don't know. You might regret it if you leave me. Okay, great. But if it was meant to be, I don't know. Sometimes I subscribe to that, where if it was meant to be, he'll still be there. Clearly, he has some loyalty. He'll wait. But just like, both of you guys do you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm totally fine with them splitting. It's just everybody needs to own their decision. And with Tyrell, we know what his situation is, which we can go into in a minute because this is about to this isn't Gators. This isn't the only scene we're doing involving Jessica. So yeah. What's the next one? Oh, this is a hot mess as usual. So, we can go from here. That's fine.
Oh, what a lovely surprise running into you.
Early morning pickup game with Andre and Ted. That smile on your face because you finally got some rest?
Oh, I was asleep before my head even hit the pillow.
Well, when are you down for that date that we took a rain check on?
I'm free now.
Wow. I see that Kyle gets nights and poor Carlton here is relegated to breaky breaks. Yeah, that worked for me and Teddy Bear once upon a mattress.
I have no idea what you were prattling on about, Leslie.
Have you met Kyle's son, Noah? Sweetie pie. And he's the new manager at my clinic. Now, while we were discussing work, he mentioned that while he's been staying at his dad's, his dad has been staying at his girlfriend's every night. Yeah. So apparently, while he's crashing there to get the lay of the land, meanwhile, Daddy is getting laid by darling Nikki at the Comfort Inn and Suites.
This just happened to spill out of your employee's mouth in the middle of talking about payroll and supplies?
Okay, whatever this is, I don't have time for it. I have a consult.
Yeah, well, I have a meeting with the club press myself, so ta-ta.
Can I call you later? Find a better time for our date.
Of course.
This is the first example of Nicole not owning it. That kind of ran me low. Because again, your decisions, they're fine if you make them, you have free will, but you need to own them. And if I were Nicole, I would have said to Leslie, and is that all you got? What are we talking? We're all adults here, Leslie. What are we talking about?
Right. I would have been like, well, at least I can get two men. You're here crawling on the floor just to get a crumb of one.
That part.
It's just you have to slum it with whoever you can find. I would also mention your daughter survived once. She might not survive again.
And the Queen of the South, are you implying something?
I'm just, we're all changed here, or whatever she said, and we're all praying to the Lord, or whatever they were doing in that hospital while Kat was fighting for her life. See, this is why I can't with this show sometimes, is because they show her so much grace, and look what happens. It's like she just has free reign. So again, just this annoying thing of her always getting her way, and like this show trying to humanize her. Just I can't with it. Like, let her be a villain. Let her get the consequences that villains get.
I'm not mad. No. I'm not mad at that either. And again, like I said, I mentioned this before a few weeks ago. I don't like this transition back to the old Leslie, because a tragic event triggered her turning over a new leaf and being good. So a tragic event should have triggered her turning back to the old Leslie. It isn't just like, oh, well, we're just going to turn it back to the old Leslie without any reason whatsoever. Even though, yes, kind of expected Leslie is Leslie, but I didn't want that transition that way. That's just me. But with this whole situation, like Nicole doesn't own it. And the reason Nicole doesn't own it is because she's going against who she truly is by default. The default Nicole doesn't sleep around with two men. That Nicole doesn't do that. This is someone who she is not. And it's fine to be someone who you're not if you're looking to explore, like you're like, okay, well, I've never tried this before. Let me see if this works for me. And I believe that this little moment right here, I don't necessarily want to call it a confrontation, but this discussion between the three of them was sort of like, okay, it seemed like it was sending off signals like, Nicole, this isn't you. And if you were dealing with just one person, you wouldn't even be in this predicament to a certain degree. And not saying she's wrong for dealing with two people. I don't care if she deal with 5 people. That's her body, her choice, whatever. My thing is that clearly she's uncomfortable during this conversation because she doesn't want to own what she's doing because, again, it's not who she is. That's all I'm saying. But on the bright side, I will give F-Boy some credit. At least he was like, I don't want to have any part of this. I got other things to deal with. Like he didn't even entertain Leslie's shenanigans. So F-Boy is still F-Boy, but we'll give him that.
I think he was just more disgusted, honestly, or he just felt like it was off-putting to hear what Nicole has going on because, you know, if anyone didn't watch the show yesterday, basically, I think the last scene was, you know, Nicole told Carlton, like, I'm too tired. Let's do a rain check so I can really, you know, go for a ride if you catch my drift. And he's like, all right. And then last scene is he sees Kyle and Nicole, like, you know, arms just around each other, wrapped up all in each other, and he's just watching them go. So I hope he has, I don't want to say some self-respect, but again, just he should just make the decision for himself. Like, hey, this is like, I'm tired of waiting. I should move on with my life. Let me be done.
Yeah, no, self-esteem. That's the thing. And the world has a self-esteem problem, quiet as it's kept, if we're being honest. But with this particular situation, and even somebody, I forgot who it was, they had a conversation with Carlton and was like, you need to make her miss you, or you need to let her wait, or something like that. And that's when she had wanted to book a date with him at one point, and then he was like, oh no, I'm actually busy, or whatever. And he started that. Then finally he came back around. Well, not finally, because it wasn't even that long of a period. But then he started it, but then he came back around and was like, okay, let's hang out, this and that and stuff. So I get it, but now we're at the point of, if I would have seen her with Kyle at the elevator leaving, and then now Leslie's talking about this, Nicole would have said, oh, let's wait till later and have a conversation later about rebooking. I would have been like, okay, but in my head, I would have been like, girl, I'm not rebooking with you. And yeah, like, and I would have that conversation then. I wouldn't have had it in the moment where she's like rebooking, just tell her flat out I'm not, because I'm like, okay, this isn't the place for that. But as soon as she talks to me again, I'd be like, okay, yeah, by the way, it's been great, you're awesome, but I think you've already made your choice. I wish you well. And then keep it moving and block her. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Let's see, what's the next one? Oh, okay, gotcha. Actually, can I just move this ahead and sort of let it go?
Okay, we know how much you care about Jessica. We also know that this is your first serious relationship. Those can be intense.
Does she even know your plans for the two of you? So without running this past your girlfriend, you're planning to sacrifice your time, energy, and a full shot at a college experience? The math ain't mathin'.
Why can't you get it? I love Jessica. Why do you guys keep treating me like a dumbass kid? I know how I feel, and I know what she needs.
When I hear someone planning something for someone else's life, my antenna go up. Look, we're just trying to protect you.
I don't need protection.
Wrong, son. Right now, your heart could use a full set of armor.
Diana, you got it.
Let's start
talk
with
about
Martin.
the 18-year-old.
Let's start with Martin and him being like, Samantha, you're grounded for the rest of your life because you can't be doing that in my house. You can't do anything and going on this rampage. You know, let Tyrell do something. And he's like, well, he is 18, basically. Like, what can we do? He's gonna be out of this house. And now look at what that attitude gets you. Now you have him talking like he has money, going, I'm 18. You can't tell me what to do. Like, okay, bye. I don't know. I think the way Martin approached it, like, I think that was one thing is that he just immediately, like, while everything he said makes sense, it's just like, dang, dude, you can't just, like, take it down a notch, which I think that's why him and Smitty work so well together. But it's kind of like, doesn't matter who it is, you're just going to blow up, except Eva, apparently, even if she talks crazy. She'd be talking all kinds of things and you'll be like respectful about it. But I do like that he pointed out, like, did he even ask her if this is what she wanted? Because it's such a good question. It's like, did you even, like, what made you do this? What in your mind made you think that this is what she wanted?
Well, also, it's his son. So he knows his son. And it's like, I bet you he didn't even run this by Jessica. So yeah, I can get that part. My thing is that, again, there's truth to what he's saying. Because again, that whole 18 thing, I stay on that because things happened to me when I was 18 that I remember very well. And that's why I'm saying, like, I get it. However, like you said, where is this money coming from? That's the question of the day. Where is this money coming from? And the way he was talking, like, oh, I'm going to fly and see her every weekend. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, what type of frequent flyer mile program are you on? How many points you got? Did you do what that man do where he gamed the system and got like 1 million flyer points just for buying some healthy choice chocolate pudding? I don't know if you've seen that. That's a true story. The man got like 1 million points because it was like 500 points per purchase. And he was buying the chocolate pudding from like discount places where it was regularly 89 cents, but he got it for 25 cents or something like that. And at certain ones, they would actually double the points. So instead of 500, he would get 1,000. So he mailed in all of these clippings. It's like an amazing story. They ended up honoring, Healthy Choice honored what he got, but he ended up like with, I think, 1 million flyer points. And him and his family traveled the world for years. It was crazy. So anyways, I'm just like, dude, what type of flyer program you on? Because I didn't think you had it like that. And I know you don't have a trust fund because I've never heard them talk about a trust fund. And even if you had a trust fund, you probably wouldn't get access until you're 25 anyway. So how are you getting to Los Angeles? I don't get it. But, you know, people get ideas in their head and they're like, oh, yeah, I can do that. But
yeah, I mean, I think this was like, what did he say? He's just like, I'm not some dumbass kid. And then you give like the most typical dumbass solution. You can't treat me like one. It's just like, okay, well then like start making sense.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm glad we're taking a break from Bill never dying to this because I think you know, I think this was also another plot line of like, yeah, so what's happening? Like, school's about to start. Where is this relationship going?
Same energy. And I'm just kind of like, okay, dude, if that's the woman you want, go for it. But she may not feel the same way. That's all we saying. Mm-hmm. Let's see. What's the next? Okay. Yeah, this one I definitely want to discuss. 1838. That's 35.
You just said you've seen worse scars.
I have.
Okay, so why the hard pass?
Because there's no quick fix for a situation like yours.
Okay, why not?
Because you're still healing from two things, your damage control surgery and your liver transplant.
Okay, shouldn't we be able to fix it while it's still fresh?
That's not how it works. Any potential scar revision has to wait until your body has fully healed and the tissue is settled.
Okay, well, can't we just speed it up? I mean, I'm young, and before this, pretty healthy. Doesn't that count for something?
Of course it does, in general. And once your transplant team signs off on your recovery, then we can look at our options.
Okay, like what?
Well, there are advancements in laser and stem cell treatments that we can explore based on your progress by them.
And so those procedures will get rid of the scar?
The goal is to minimize the appearance.
So no promises?
Just honesty.
Well, what am I supposed to do in the meantime, Carlton? I feel so disconnected to my body.
Okay, that is more complicated. Eva, you have just survived a life-saving surgery. It's not uncommon for organ transplant recipients to explore and discuss their new normal with a professional.
I don't need therapy, Carlton. I need to feel like myself again.
Okay. You're more than welcome to get a second opinion, but any reputable MD is going to agree with me, Eva. And I know for a fact that your father would.
This is a little bit more serious than I expected it to be. At the same time, I'm not mad at this storyline. I can semi-relate. I didn't take it to the level of, oh my God, I don't feel like myself. But I did have an event that caused me to get a scar on my leg. And definitely people ask questions sometimes when they see it, which is another reason why I don't wear shorts that often. Because it's just like, okay, whatever. And then in addition to that, I just prefer wearing pants too. But yeah, I can understand and empathize where she's coming from, because she did wear a lot of like crop tops and things like that. And she's a very beautiful young lady. At the same time, it's kind of like, okay, well, let's have gratitude for what you have, which is your life, and focus on that for now while you're healing, and then we can get back to the scar tissue later. That's sort of where I'm at. What about you?
You know, I knew you were gonna want to do this scene when I saw it. I was like, what could I possibly say that is nice or understanding? And I got nothing. Other than, yeah, girl, I guess. I don't know what you're mad at him for. He's qualified. He went to school. So I don't,
Wow.
like, let's give it a second. and then let's revisit. I don't like, to me, it just screams like all I've had was my beauty and now it's taken away from me. Like, okay, maybe.
Well, to a certain degree, because she had a conversation with Leslie. And again, I didn't cover that conversation because I was like, yeah, whatever. But there was a part in there where Leslie was like, yeah, maybe I emphasize the outside and our appearance too much.
Mm-hmm. So maybe she just needs to divest from that or something. I don't know. But yeah, I anticipated you as being like, let's, showing this and me going like, pass. No comment, because this is a plot line that I don't know if I needed.
Like I said, I'm not mad at it. And also, I think that she did a good job with the scene, too, acting wise, as well.
I don't know if I think it made it worse for her. If people weren't on her side, I think this made it worse. I don't know. It just came off. I don't want to dismiss the plot, because at the end of the day, this is a soap opera, and it's drama, and you have to fill up 5 episodes a week with something. So if this is the way that they chose to, extend the whole saga of her getting, like a new liver or whatever, then so be it. I was just hoping that I'd get like rejected or something like that. Or I don't know, like more complications, something like real serious. But this is fine too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when the whole spoilers came out, that it might be something serious or she gets bad news. I was like, oh snap, is it rejecting her now or whatever? And I was like, nope, that's not it. But still, I take this seriously because some people really do go through this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I can understand that. All good. Let's see. What is the next scene? We are just moving right on. We only have 2 scenes left. All right, 22-26. 22-26. Let's see. That works.
You okay, bro?
I was, until the wrench shot down my plan to fly out to LA to see my girlfriend every weekend.
Say what? Gotta go.
It's a good plan. School here 2 days a week, and then I have Friday through Mondays to be with you.
I'm sure you worked that out on paper, but that is so not gonna happen.
Why not?
You don't know my schedule or what activities I'll be into because I don't even know yet.
I assumed you would want to spend time with me instead of auditioning for a play.
Wrong. I mean, I love spending time with you, Tyrell, but no, I'm not going to miss out on stuff because of your desperate attempt to try and, like, keep us together.
I'm desperate now?
That's not what I meant. All I'm saying is I won't know what I want until I get there. And so, no, I'm not going to be closed off because you decided on your own to make weekly commutes to the West Coast. And I don't want you skipping out on amazing opportunities at Banneker, like joining the chess club or a frat or the robotics club.
You're just softballing because you believe we won't work out.
I can't predict the future, but I hope we do.
Hope? That's your plan? Jessica, we have to make our futures happen now, or this will be some BS cop-out. Say what you really mean.
Okay, fine. I think we should break up. Starting now.
She's like, all right, bet. I can't be mad at her for that. It's just like, this is what he asked for. Like, great.
Of course you're not mad. As soon as she said it, you were jumping up cheering like it was the World Cup. So it's like, yeah, we know you happy.
Everyone should be happy. I mean, this is the thing. She made such good points. Like, he's already like, okay, easy, bet. Like, I'm going there. What he's like, Thursday to Monday, and then blah, blah, blah. Like, listen, he's young. He's not an adult. He's just a child. So I'm sure he's playing for the best, but like she said, she doesn't even know her schedule. Does it even work? Like, for all he knows, he's flying out there just to stay in her room for the entire weekend while she's out living her life. And I'm very happy that she said, I'm not going to sacrifice this for you. She could not have been any clearer, and I think she was absolutely right. Like, you shouldn't sacrifice your own well-being, your own growth for an 18-year-old boy.
Oh goodness, I'm not mad at that. Again, you have to do what's best for you. And if it is best for her to pursue and live the campus life, I'm not mad at that. I will say that when people attend college, some people attend to experience, let me rephrase. And again, I know that the majority of our audience is like 85% female, according to the analytics. So some women attend college to get an education, experience the college life, better themselves, so on and so forth. There are other women who attend college to do some of that, but to mostly find a husband is what they do. And is
Okay, we're not in the South. We're going to UCLA. We're not getting our MRS degree. I'm sorry. We're in the West Coast. We don't do that over here, sir.
So I'm just saying everybody's different. And that was kind of the thing too, where there was a discussion about this. There's been multiple discussions about this, especially when it comes to athletes as well. How, and I'm looking for the best way to say this, how some of them, the women that they end up with, which there's usually complaints, and you can interpret as you will, those women, based off of conversations that have been had with other people and anecdotally, those type of women, it isn't necessarily that they're looking for a rich man to marry or somebody that's going to go pro. A lot of those women are usually looking for husbands, and then some of the other women aren't. And because some of the other women have the attitude where it's like, okay, I want to live my life. I want to do this. But the ones who end up with them, there's a lot of them who, the reason they do it is because they were looking for a husband anyway at college. I'm not mad at any of the choices because I strongly believe in free will. As long as you're not hurting anyone, live your life. So if Jessica is like, you know what, I want to be outside, girl, go be outside and own it. If Tyrell is like, you know what, I don't want to be outside, even though I'm young, I want to start building with someone now instead of waiting until he's 25, 30, 35 to do it. I respect that too. That's just where I'm at.
I think that's fair. I mean, again, I'm hoping that because you seem so set on love, well, like I'll meet you halfway. If they're meant to be, they'll just have summer flings until they're older, and then they're like, you know what? Let's do this for real. We're adults now. We've, nothing's worked out. And they come back to each other and it's all fine and dandy.
But will he view her differently though? Because you know that women are looked at differently than men. And a man, and it is what it is. This is society. And it is a little bit different in 2026, but still not so different. A man can be out in the streets, but with women, if they're out in the streets, a man might view her now where it was like, okay, well, you've kind of been used. You have mileage on you now.
That is you're not wrong because it only goes one way. It's like, you could be Ted or Bill out here for the community, but God forbid, Vanessa has go through legitimate means to get her some, and we look at her sideways. But you're definitely right. And that's the thing though. The way I look at it is, if someone were to look at me like that, it's not meant to be. Then you were not the person that I thought you were. Because if you think like that now, that means you thought like that before. That means you're gonna think like that in the future. Like, our values are not aligned. Like, you are a person that I will actively dislike and hate. And I will be contacting those witches that you keep on mentioning and make sure your life is terrible, because you are a terrible person with terrible opinions and you shouldn't be near women at all. So if Tyrell goes down that line of thinking like, oh, well, she's used up, then I hope he stays lonely. I hope, just he doesn't deserve shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it is how it is. And this is all hypothetical or whatever, but that's kind of how I view things too, is that like, if our values are aligned, even like, then it's not meant to be. Like, then this is not a true love match. Like, this isn't compatibility. This isn't true love. And I'm not saying that in terms of, do you like pineapple on pizza? Do you like olives or not? Even though for some people those are hard lines. I'm talking about, like, yes, misogyny. Where do you stand on politics? Like, if we don't align, then that means it's like we aren't meant to be.
I guess it depends. But then again, sometimes they say love conquers all. So we'll
Yeah, I don't know.
we'll see. But it's amazing that this after school special has us having these conversations. Okay, so let's go ahead and head on to the next scene. Let's see, hold on. Wait a minute, I'm on the wrong thing. What is it? Okay, there it is, 2657. 2657. Let's try 55. That's fine, let's just go here.
I've been stumbling towards making a decision, and I don't want to make the wrong one. I know what it feels like to have the rug pulled out from underneath you. And I would hate to do that to somebody I care about, and I really care about both of them.
Okay. How did all of this start?
I gravitated towards Carlton because he was familiar, and I felt safe. And I knew he'd been crushing on me for a while, and he'd fit in with Dupree events.
Yes, he would.
And then with Kial, he was unexpected, a complete stranger. But there was this attraction.
And you could be carefree.
So much. And do you know, after all of this time, I still feel that easy, carefree way with him. Kyle is sensitive and seems to know me better than anyone. Better than me sometimes.
Well, it sounds like you have your answer. Your heart is leading you there, but your head is getting in the way.
So what do I do?
Analysis leads to paralysis.
Who is the shrink here?
Today, me. And I don't believe you're anywhere near finished with having love in your life.
Yeah.
You were waiting for the scene, so go off.
Yeah, because Nicole ran me low with this scene. It's like, girl, first of all, now you're saying nobody knows you like Kyle, when just a few weeks ago you were saying no one knows you like Ted. And not so much so with Ted that you were up having sleepless nights. And we're not talking about the sex dreams. We're not talking about that. We're talking about when he says something to you about how you would put Carlton to the side and was focusing more on Kyle and said some other things. And then you got mad at Ted after what he said. But then when you thought on it, it kept you up because you knew Ted was right. Then you went to Ted and admitted that he was right. And then no one knows you like he knows you. Now you're having this conversation with Anita and you're like, well, Kyle, he's so sensitive, which confirmed what I was talking about when we had our conversation about the whole Kyle Carlton thing and how she gets what she gets from them. And I even said about Kyle being more sensitive, offering that sort of nurturing type thing to her. Confirmed with that. But this, like, oh, no one knows me better than Kyle. Like, girl, where are we at and why are we here? Because this ain't it. We know it's still Ted. I know it's still Ted. You know it's still Ted. Why is all of a sudden Kyle is your man that if he pops the question 2 weeks from now, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Because that's the energy I'm getting. Like, it's like, oh, I can shut out Carlton now. I'll date Kyle, and I think it'll be something more serious. Like, why are you trying to psych us out and get us hyped up for something that is not happening? I'm irritated. But again, she can't own who she is. That's the problem. That's been the problem. Nicole, this experimenting is not who she is. And there's nothing wrong with experimenting, but it's not who she is at her core by default as a person. Diana, you got it.
Yeah, I think Ted really knew her the best. When he was in bed with Leslie, I'm sure he's like, my wife will love this.
Wow.
She's suffering through a miscarriage. I'm sure Ted was really on the nose with what Nicole needed at that moment. He was probably like, yes, she's really gonna enjoy this story when I tell her. I don't remember her saying that Ted knows her best. Again, I think this is another one of your AI scenes. I don't know, you and Elise do your thing over there, and I'm just like, leave me out of it. In this instance, I mean, I can't say that she's wrong. I mean, Kyle knows how to approach her, and he's gentle, like she said, and he's not creepy like Carlton, and he's not, and he gives her space. I think that's the most important part. He gives her space, which is what I think she really wants. It's like things on her own terms, whereas Carlton is just like breathing down her neck, and it's just like, okay, what next? What next? What next? It doesn't feel like that with Kyle. So I'm not surprised that she feels this way about it. I am kind of like, this deadline that she gave herself to choose, I don't know how I feel about that. And I have a feeling that at the end of the day, it's going to go to Carlton. I don't know why.
Why?
But
that he's not the best fit. Kyle, if we're just talking about Carlton and Kyle and moving to, like I said before, Kyle is the best fit. Kyle has more of a maturity level than Carlton, as he should, because Kyle has kids too. Carlton does not have kids. The other thing, let's go back to life decisions. First of all, Carlton has been pining for Nicole since the beginning, which makes him a jerk anyway, because that's your best friend's wife. Second of all, there is a sense of urgency in my eyes that I'm seeing with Carlton because he's older now. Carlton is older and single. And for some people, they cannot cope with the choices that they've made in the past that has led to them being single. And they're like, oh, I have to find somebody and settle down now. I feel like there's some of that energy with Nicole, whether it's him not being able to cope with the past or whether it's just straight him being like, I need to find somebody to settle down with. I've wanted Nicole all this time. I really want to settle down with her. She's the one. We need to settle down now. Okay, fine, Carlton. If that's how you feel about it, great. But it's, again, not owning your decisions is what I get sometimes with him. Because quiet as is kept, even though Ted met Nicole first or found Nicole because he sent Carlton off in a different direction when Carlton was asking, like, you know, like, where does she go? This and that, back at that conference in Hawaii. I still believe if Carlton was truly stand up, he would have been like, hey, I know this man approached you. He's my best friend or whatever, but I just want to let you know I do have feelings for you too. I don't want things to happen moving forward without you knowing that. And then at that point, let Nicole make her choice. Now, would it have been kind of grimy to do that? Yes, but it would have been better than letting 35 years go by or however many years go by. And you've been pining for this woman and you've been keeping all this pent up inside, which would definitely explain the sense of urgency with him. Not that I agree with it, but here we are. Kyle is still the better match. He's more mature than Carlton. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think best case scenario is that Carlton takes himself out of the race. Like, he's just like, you know what? I'm just tired of chasing, man. Like, I need to move on.
Yeah, that's what he should do. And hopefully, and let me stop sharing right quick as we're closing out. That's what he should have done from the beginning, in my opinion. Well, quiet as it's kept, what he should have done is not done anything. Because you already know how I feel about this whole best friend, business partner, so on and so forth. Like, dude, you should not have done that. But okay, if you're doing that, now that you've experienced the mistress of the night or mistress of temptation, whatever you want to call Nicole, like, okay, you're not getting the energy that you thought you would be getting from her. That's evident now that Kyle's in the picture. It is time for you to bow out. Just respect for yourself. That's where I'm at. So all good though. I think that's it. This was a good episode. It was very much an after school special today, but I'm not mad at that. It was a nice change of pace. I'm sure Bill will still be alive tomorrow and next week. So we'll just have to deal for now. Hopefully by Labor Day, we're keeping our fingers crossed, and we'll take it from there. But Gators, thank you so much for the love in the comments. I haven't replied yet. Usually I do my best to reply within a day or two, but I'll make it a point to reply tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, we appreciate the comments. It keeps us in the algorithm. The likes keeps us in the algorithm. If you're watching or listening to this podcast, don't forget to subscribe because that also keeps us in the algorithm. Diana, did you have anything before we close out?
No, I'm done.
Okay, sweet. Well, everyone, thank you again. We're also working on a little surprise. Hope to have an announcement within a week or two, fingers crossed. Technology can be a pain sometimes, but we will forge our path right through it if necessary. So yeah, until next time, everyone.
Bye.